Speaking of extraordinary, Toni Storm and Mercedes Monet were exactly that. The ladies had 25 minutes and change to tell their story that resulted in Toni Storm picking up a win over Mercedes Monet. Now, this was interesting because these are clearly the two top females in the entire promotion. I mean, they are the biggest, most celebrated stars on the roster. This had a big fight feel. It felt like a main event. It's been a long time in the making. Mercedes Monet has more titles than we've had podcast episodes at this point. But Toni was there and she picked up the win. And I think a lot of people were surprised by that. You saw lots of speculation and lots of silly rumor about Mercedes Monet and her creative this past week. But nobody was talking about silly shit like that when these ladies were in the ring and the bell rang. Man, two of the more iconic AEW characters, and they got plenty of time. You know, you go back 10 years ago and WWE was giving the ladies a minute, 2 minutes, and now we've got 25 minutes here for the ladies. I thought they did a fantastic job. And Toni Storm, man, is she just the gift that keeps on giving?
She's my favorite AEW talent, male or female, is Toni
Wow.
Storm. She just always delivers. She's unique. She's special. You feel it. You see it. You can experience it when you watch her work. I have been on record as saying that I think that Mercedes Monet hasn't given us her best, and that's not an indictment on her effort whatsoever. It's just that you got to do the right situation, the right scenario, right presentation. But Mercedes Monet delivered big time. She outperformed what we were used to seeing from her. I was very impressed, very proud of her work and what she accomplished. She just smooth as silk. But of course, then there's Toni Storm, who's just tremendous. I mean, she just was just tremendous. I'm telling you, she just was spectacular in her presentation. And I'm not going to say it's about time because I don't think that's the case. That's a negative evaluation. But Mercedes did a great job of staying step for step with Toni Storm, who, as I mentioned, is my favorite AEW star at this point in time. She just does a great job, and I'm glad that we meaning AEW has her on the roster because she adds a lot to what's going on and gives the women's division, for the lack of a better term, great credibility. And Tony's just tremendous. And her win, I thought, quite frankly, that it would be a Mercedes Monet win in that
Yeah.
match. That's what I was guessing. I had no preconceived notion, or I wasn't preconditioned on the outcome. But I was pleasantly surprised that Tony was able to pull out a victory in what I thought was a hell of a match. They just did a great job in that match. So good for them, both of them. They deserve it, and they really enhanced the credibility of the AEW women's division, for lack of a better term. And I was happy for both of them. They both work hard. They're both very proud to be in the women's division. They add a lot. So good for both of them. And Toni Storm somehow, some way came out with a win. And I thought that was cool as hell.
We should ask, do you think, I mean, really, I'm not even trying to be funny. Could anybody on the AEW roster do a better read for Blue Chew than Toni Storm? Can you even imagine how great that would be?
No, not quite. She takes any piece of creative and makes it hers.
Yes.
And that's a gift for all talents. And yeah, Toni does a tremendous job of reciting, delivering, repackaging, whatever you want to say, the material that she's working with. And I didn't know. I should know, maybe, or maybe I shouldn't even say. I didn't know she was uh, affiliated with what's her husband's name?
Juice Robinson.
Juice Robinson. Yeah, and I thought he looked like you mentioned earlier, and you're right. He looked great, clean shaven, different look. It felt good for him. And he leaned up, the shave, the makeover, shall we say? look really good. So, but I'm a Toni Storm fan. I can't overindulge in Toni Storm. She, to me, is just, the more we get of her, the better off we are.
Let's finish up our talk about All In. Of course, now it was time for what I guess we'd call our co-main event. We had the Continental title and the International title both being defended. The winner would walk out the new AEW Unified Champion. And after 31 minutes change, Okada is victorious. So if you're keeping score at home, Kenny has one win over Okada. They have one draw, and now Okada has 2 victories over Kenny Omega. I think a lot of people predicted that Omega was going to be victorious here. Every time we see a Kenny Omega match, it feels like a treat. This was the second highest reviewed match of the weekend, or of the day, rather. Man, Okada and Omega, you were fortunate enough to call some of these in Japan, and you're here and get a hero's welcome to call this one. What'd you think seeing this one up close and personal, Jim?
I was very honored to be a part of that presentation, Conrad. I'm a big fan of both those guys. Kenny Omega treats the business seriously, and he's such a tremendous talent. And not to say that Okada isn't, because he is. My first experience with Okada was back in New Japan, in Tokyo, Tokyo Dome, et cetera, et cetera. He's just a lean, I don't want to steal an old cliche, a lean, mean fighting machine, but that's kind of what he is. He always delivers. And for that, I'm appreciative. Anytime an announcer gets to call a match that with the magnitude and with what's at stake for Omega and Okada, you feel honored, and I felt honored to be a part of that. I got a great text message after the show from Kenny, who had somehow after the show had figured a way to watch the match and listen to the match. He was effusive with his praise of my work on that show, on that match, which I really do appreciate. It means a lot, quite frankly. It means an awful lot. And then Okada, the same way, after the show, give me a hug and thank me for my work. I should, the bottom line, and be honest with you, Conrad, I should have been the one thanking those guys. Because if I did a good job and I look good, shall we say, that's hard for a guy like me that looks like me to look good. That's where the praise goes to the talent. And they delivered big time. I don't know one spot that they missed that I thought could have been redone or reconfigured. Just tremendous. So good for both those dudes. They delivered big time. They could have closed any show that I've ever been a part of. It's just that good. And I'm happy for both those dudes. Good talents, great talents. And they delivered. They delivered, and they had high expectations. There are high expectations expected of those cats, and they came through in flying colors.
Don't we all love summer vacation, relaxing, laying out by the pool, barbecues, hitting the beach, doing, well, nothing? Well, how about a summer vacation from your house payments? With SaveWithConrad.com, you can do just that. Reduce your monthly payments by making the equity you built up in your home work for you. You can roll together those high interest rate credit cards into one lower monthly payment, and perhaps access some of that newfound equity to turn your house into your dream home with no money out of pocket. And how about this? You get to skip your next 2 house payments. That's right. You won't have to make your June or your July house payment. You're done until August 1st. Go right now to SaveWithConrad.com. Let my team run the numbers for you for free. There's no obligation, and if we can't help you save some cash, we won't waste your time. And did I mention we're offering a 3-year guarantee right now? That's right. That means if at any point interest rates improve over the next 3 years, you get a free refi. That's right. No new lender fees from us. So you get to save money now without wasting money later when the rates improve on a whole second set of closing costs. Why not go to SaveWithConrad.com and get a guarantee? Save money now and save money later with your friend in the mortgage business. That's me, Conrad Thompson at SaveWithConrad.com. Shoot me an email at Conrad@SaveWithConrad.com. Give us a call at 888-425-0105. Or get yourself a quick quote, even talk to a live person right now at SaveWithConrad.com. NMLS number 2129, equal housing lender. Let's take a summer vacation from house payments at SaveWithConrad.com.